I always say I got one of the best hip hop stories in hip hop history. Like to go from 5 to being on Arsenio Hall to then being, discovered by, Death Row to being around that to being a part of the creation of one of the biggest albums of all time in hip hop, which is Doggy Style, really being there and being a part of the process, being in the studio with Dre, being in the studio with Snoop, staying at the La Manchas Hotel and, right there in LA. And I mean, it was just an experience, man. It was just, a moment in life that, it is golden. I remember Busta Rhymes telling me when we was on Cash Money together, he was like, man, you like a fucking hip hop alien, dog. Like you're like not even fair. You're like a cheat code. Like it's crazy. You start as a kid, your teenage years, then your 20s, then like you've seen every era of this shit, you know what I mean? And it's dope to look back and to be able to say, I was a part of that and I was there for that. So it's a blessing.
Bad Boys on Fire, you're getting all these placements, but right around that same time, Tupac's getting out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a chip on his shoulder. Even though he knows Biggie didn't set him up at Quad Studios, he's still running with that whole storyline.
He's entitled to run with whatever you want to run with, you know what I'm saying? But for me, I just always just, kept my eyes open wide and stayed out the way, you know what I'm saying? That's my whole process.
Tupac drops Hit 'Em Up.
I remember.
How did you feel when you first heard that song? Because he's talking about all your friends in that song.
I mean, I walked in the studio, and if you know Daddy's House Studio, you walk through these doors, it looks like a vault, and then the first left is the office. I'm walking through, and I see people in the office like, yo, what's going on? And I'm listening to the record like, damn. It wasn't like Mary Had a Little Lamb. This was like, I fucked your bitch, and this and that, and boom, boom. I'm just like, this is where we at. I'm on this side. I'm on this side.
Yeah.
So that's just, I had an allegiance or alignment with who I was with. I'm a type of person. I'm not a fair weather type person. If I'm rocking with you and we in the spot together, we leaving out the spot together.
Did you ever run into Tupac before then? Did you ever meet him?
But
nothing.
No, we always dealt with the same chicks, and chicks would be like, y'all get along. So, scratch that story, man. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna happen. But girls we used to deal with the same women.
Okay. Tupac drops Hit 'Em Up, and things are now heating up. Vibe drops the cover with Biggie and Puffy, where it says East versus West.
Right, and then they had the Suge night with Suge and Snoop and Pac on the other cover, right? They did 2 different covers.
Did they?
Yeah, I think they did 2.
Possibly. Okay. But now, there is now a East Coast, West Coast war, which is not really true. It's just between certain people, but it's being, coined as that. I mean, I'll tell you what, like when I interviewed Tretch, he felt Vibe magazine was really
responsible.
Was responsible.
You know what I'm saying? For egging that on, right?
Egging it on, yeah.
But isn't it bad enough what we got going on in our communities? Isn't it bad enough what we were subjected to? You know what I'm saying?
Near the end of his life, he was doing the One Nation project and trying to kind of get, this whole East versus West Coast thing under control.
By that time, it might have been a little too late.
It was a little too late.